right, good evening once again, those of you in Jive's Coffee Lounge, and those of you watching online on Facebook Live via the Jive's Coffee Lounge page, or on YouTube Live via my channel, Outlaw Poet Releasing. Thank you for joining us for another session of the Front Range Groove. For those who don't know, the Front Range Groove is my monthly 1-hour segment that I take out of our regular open mic, where I take one act, give them 40 to 45 minutes if it's a single music act. If I have two poets or comedians up here, they'll each get 20 minutes. Broadcast live just like we are right now, sharing all original material. No covers, no covers, no covers on the live stream. Covers are cool for regular open mic. But here I want to showcase the poet-writer, the singer-songwriter. I want to showcase the creative in their original work. Now, if you have been watching each month since we started doing the Front Range Groove or any of my previous shows over the years, you know I like to get to know the artist. So at the end of this set, I'm going to come back up. Brendon and I are going to do a brief Q&A, talk a little bit about what he's working on, some of the stuff he's got going. If you're watching online, you will periodically see some graphics run across the screen. It'll be for Jive's Coffee Lounge, where we are at right now, 16 Cold Run Court in the old Colorado City neighborhood of Colorado Springs. You'll see some stuff for Brendon's social media, as well as a link for his Bandcamp, and a few other pieces of information you might be interested in. If you're watching online, you have any questions, you can either DM me through whatever source you're watching or email me, poetnorthstar@gmail.com. Just throw something about today's live stream up in the subject line, because that is how I sort my emails. That's how I go through that stuff. So like I said, my feature, he's up here. He's kind of playing on the banjo back here. I like this. He's been part of the Jives family for quite some time. I think he's one of the ones that predates me. I've been here almost 4 years now, and I believe he predates me. And throughout the years since I took over the show, I've watched him try and do some different things. I love that he's a multi-instrumentalist, and I love that he's a creative. He's got so many other things. I'll talk about it when we do the Q&A, but if you're ever up at Jives and you see him hanging outside, stop and ask him about his artwork.
Talk to me all the time, please.
I knew I was going to have fun with you up here. All right, folks, we're going to go ahead and get him going. So those of you watching online, as well as those of you here in Jive's Coffee Lounge, if you're ready for tonight's feature, let me hear, please. All right. Keep that energy going as we welcome up to the stage Mr. Brendon Teegarden.
Hey. How's it going? Good. All right, here we go.
Taking all away, graceful in any way. My mouth decides to say, piecing out again. You forced on yonder course. You told me you're involved on the seas of black sentence. You told me I found a cause. Running here from battles, oh baby, I think it's crazy. From seer to seer, could not listen, could not hear. Black beetle, soul's gone, soul's gone, soul's gone. They can't con, foil the fun. But then be still, why not at yours? Why then be still, why not?
Thanks. Here's another one. Now we stand. One hand takes to the underside. One has clasped the other hand in order to reach past the line. It's almost pretend. Notion obscures the sea of leaves. Too forgotten and again the existent white fins. Wide, it's almost dark now. But I put on the front in big spots. Really washed out now. Really washed out now. Really washed out now. Thank you guys. delivered you hearts. The great machine. The great machine. What gets for you outside of non-belief? The great machine. Black. Thank you, guys. Oh yeah, this is a pretty, I don't know, sort of like personal. I wrote this song when I lived alone in Arkansas for 6 months. And it's about living alone in Arkansas for 6 months. And I surrendered myself to cause and effect. The hotels are all shut down, and I was spent coming to the place. Looks like a book and hell. You lucky other ones, you already know now. Never thought, am I a crime? I transgressed separation, but then I died. I'm only human, and I need time to turn off. Looking out an open window, lonesome ghosts in your ear. If you listen quite clearly, the whole world just disappears. I wandered by mistake a mile downriver. Close my eyes and I sun into the water. A milky-eyed fish up to the ether. I saw my love swept away by the current. Bloody tears fall down on my head. Sometimes I wonder in heaven things are fine. A crystal savior with dark and sails tied. Once you come from over the hope you guys like that one. This is kind of like a song that I made to be a little more like the traditional style, I suppose. Thanks. I got some nices from that one. Heard it. Thanks for listening to that one. I wrote this one about some happy times. Time do I have? 12? Okay, I'll do one more banjo one. I think you guys will like this one. I'm really proud of this one, so. Places and time, the eyes fall away. Come and take it, all it seems to be saying. Maybe that's the case, that carries a little maze. I cannot believe if I'm to navigate against what I was told. The territory's known. I told you what I know, but I don't understand. Turn around, shadows on the sea. Thank you. I don't know how it sounds up there, but it sounds really good up here. I'm gonna switch it up, yeah. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. This one I think is, I think I have more banjo songs, but this is my trademark guitar song. Thanks. I should have made sure this was tuned a little bit before. I'll be quick. Okay. This is my old trademark guitar song.
from your sleep in the garden of life. And I think that I've spilled too much sacred wine with sleep and calendar cold and cold at home. Thank you for reading minds in the almost of almost, standing in the middle, one of those roundabouts found his brother in blood on the outskirts of town. Okay, I'm warning you that I'm gonna get all loud and crazy for a second. Thanks, y'all. I wrote this song like 10 years ago. Here we go. It's a good song if it's 10 years old. Lives is nothing special. Eyes are open, no one's vessel. Giving chocolates that belong here. Giving option that's their own too. No one's destined to face the altar. My great lesson makes us objects. Human good wings makes us progress. Feel our fate is changed longings. Oftentimes I pretend to notice. It undermines my sense of humor. Give me trust while I win nothing. Give me stuff and say that one thing. No. Hold up. No. Hold up. No. Hold up. No. Chain up docile is between us. What you know is fragile, ceaseless. Electric things have taken over. Their agendas on full disclosure. The ultimate treason's taking breath. His brother's name is on his head. When you ascend, careful acting. Speaking backwards, forbidden magic. Oftentimes I pretend to notice. It undermines my sense of humor. Give me trust while I win nothing. Give me stuff and say not one thing. No.
Oftentimes we had a long stay. Maybe I'm in just a heartache, and maybe I'm all depressed of watching. All my time is spent repeating my whole life through double meanings. And oftentimes I pretend to notice it undermines my sense of humor. Give me trust while we're nothing. Give me stuff and say that one thing. You know. Thank you guys. Awesome. 2 minutes? I can do like this really fast one. Season the stars, saying to itself, cars crashing the cars. It's not good for health if time's in the heart and killers in the mind. In the park after dark, I'm bathing in light. The world must be mine, cause it's perfect, alright. I still don't know why, I still don't know why. Wanna live on time, I'll have to, if only if Venus, and we'll see. Level again to me, everything is fine. Take him away, take him away. Guard the source within your source, has a new buddy on this waiting patient body. He's waiting for ways in. I wish it said in statement, take him away, take him away. Problems not us, I've been too long. Rise up with the skulls, I give one, I give two. Problems not us, problems not us, problems not us. That was my under 2 minute song. I hope it was under 2 minutes. Good.
Yep.
Yeah, good.
All right, let's keep going, Mr. Brendon Teegarden, everybody, please.
All right, now we're into my favorite part of the evening. For those of you who are new to the Overpaired Open Mic in our 1 hour monthly feature, The Front Range Groove, this is the part where we talk, get to know a little bit about the artist. I'm actually going to go ahead and set my own timer here, try to keep us on track.
Yeah.
All right, so, growing up, or rather coming up as a performer over the past couple decades, so much of my own development came from getting to know artists on this level, sometimes in ways that we kind of take for granted when we have these conversations, whether it's poet to poet, musician to musician, or across mediums like this conversation here is going to be. So it's just going to be just a couple quick questions, but a chance to give people a chance to know you. So first of all, Brendon, if you could talk to, everybody watching online and everybody sitting here in the house about how you got started with music.
Oh, is this on?
There it is.
Okay, now it's on.
Go ahead.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't exactly know where things started. I think things started with me singing alone in my room when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then I don't think I actually started playing until I was 18. And I went traveling with some people, and I brought this same banjo. And they forced me to play it for money, and it was horrible. And then I got really good at banjo.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So
And I learned I really liked. I wrote my first song. I think it was like a couple chords, and like they were like, "That's amazing! Like that's really genius." And so I just kept doing that ever since.
Okay. So does that mean you started with banjo?
Oh yeah, yeah. Banjo is my main.
I didn't pick up guitar until maybe like 6 years ago.
Okay. Now I'm curious though. You wield this 12 string, and I love 12 strings. Little bit guitar that I've tried to teach myself to play. Anytime I've picked up a friend's 12 string, no. And I know some seasoned guitarists that if they go to a 12 string, it's only for a certain specific purpose. So going from the banjo, what kind of adjustment was that like going to a 12 string?
I did play guitar before. That's kind of a funny story because I actually bought this same thing. I was trying to make some money, and I went on to Craigslist, and they were selling this 12 string at this music school. And I bought it trying to sell it, and then I couldn't sell it, so I just kept it. And I was trying to, my friend who was really good at guitar, he was like, man, you shouldn't pick up a 12 string. You should like get better at the 6 string before you switch. And I was like, well, how do you know when you're at like the level to start playing like the more strings? Like how do you just decide that you're good enough to like do the whole switch? So then I just started playing, and I honestly like it better. It's just like I like material, like handling materials, and like I play this and I play the baritone guitar, so it's like a lot more like material on the hands and it just feels so good.
Okay. Now, you mentioned you wrote your first song either when you were on the road or shortly after coming off the road with that group, after you got your banjo. I want to just talk about your songwriting, particularly the music composition. I'm sure there's been some growth in the years since then.
No.
No?
I swear I've been doing the same thing for years, but it's grown kind of in other ways.
Okay. Now, usually when I talk to musicians, especially being a poet, I go into the lyrical content of creating the music. With you, I want to talk about the actual, gloss over the composition real quick.
I had a feeling you would ask me. I came so prepared to like talk about that. So.
Okay. All right. So, if you don't mind, run me through your, I guess, process, if you will, when it comes to composing music from initial idea. Do you have a particular process you work through, or what's your approach?
I mean, everything has to do with like improvising, essentially. Like it has everything to do with like free flow and free form. So that's just my style. I've learned a lot through other musicians, and that's pretty much nothing comes in like planned. Everything just starts. So I'm always at square one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Now, do you have any particular influences, be they other musicians and composers, or be they people from other mediums that influence your music composition?
That's really tough to say. I mean, a lot of people have like these influences and stuff, and they sure sound a lot like their influences. I have a lot of influence, so I feel like everything's pretty mishmashed together. I feel like the only like thing that really influenced the whole song, right, the way I write songs and stuff, is like punk rock probably. So when I say I've been doing like the same thing for like years and years, I mean, I feel like I just kind of like wrote like punk rock, but like slow, like way slowed down, and like that's just 10 years later doing the same thing. So.
All right. Now, do you ever? Now, I found, and I know it's different sometimes. As a poet and a spoken word artist to a musician, but I do find some overlap here. I've found that even when I'm in the same vein, I'll find ways to push myself to kind of test those bounds, expand them, grow from them. Within your style of creation and composition, do you find ways, are there any particular ways in which you test yourself and try to push yourself?
I think that's kind of been more of like some recent developments and stuff. I mean, I've tended to like stay away from like using like electronic equipment and stuff like that. I mean, what you've heard tonight is not really like the whole of my material. I've been like recording for a long time. I have like a lot of music that's like, especially recently, where I started like learning electronic music really well and combining like the virtual with like the material.
Okay. Now, speaking of that, you do have a lot of stuff out there. We talked about that just before the stream went live a little bit earlier this evening. And for those of you that were watching online, you may have seen I ran across the screen, I think 2 or 3 different times. There was his Instagram, at Brendon Teegarden, all one word. And then also I ran across a link for his Bandcamp, brendonteegarden.bandcamp.com. If you missed it, once we go offline, you can scroll back, or if you guys are here in the house and you didn't catch it, you can go on the feed once we go offline. You can scroll through. You'll see I have that stuff going across. What can people expect to find when they look at your Bandcamp?
Oh, when they look at probably like you'll probably see maybe 10, 11 albums, a lot of material. A lot of like the album art is like my artwork or things that are like really important to me. That's what you would expect to find. I suppose it's hard to say. I mean, check out the newest stuff. I like the newest stuff first myself. So.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, I got one last question for you, and then I'm gonna let you go. You're getting off one of the shorter Q&A session tonight.
Did it.
But as you know, mentorship is an important thing for me. You've heard me talk about it a lot here on Wednesday nights. If I always go back to the words of my mentor Neil Ray when he said to me, "We are all mentors, if by virtue of no other reason than the fact that you never know who's watching and learning from your example." And I would always use that to tell people, be deliberate. Be deliberate in what you do and how you do, because you never know who's learning from you. So for those who might have been watching online, or they might watch the stream afterwards, those sitting here in the house that might be seeing what you do, whether it's the music composition, whether it's going from one instrument to multiple instruments, or whether it's just getting up on stage, do you have any words of advice or encouragement for people like that?
Man, I don't really know. Like, just do it and be open to things, and like, always like reset yourself to 0, and like you'll probably be good. Like, that's all I really have to say. Like, the lessons are pretty immaterial. The love is all immaterial. So, it's you can't really put it in words. Like, just do it anyway. Like, yeah, just getting up and doing it is good. I mean, going where your heart is good. I feel like my heart is still kind of like as a street musician. So right now I'm feeling my heart is more kind of like recording alone and stuff. So there you have it. I'm still just doing what feels good.
All right. Okay. Before I let you go, just one last thing. When people check out your social media or check out your Bandcamp or your SoundCloud, are there any surprises coming up soon? Like, do you have a new album coming out? Are you doing some new recordings? Any new projects? Anything people should know about?
I have something new, like, recorded, like, every month. So if you're on there, that happens, probably, like, 10 or 20 songs, like, every month. Yeah, I mean, keep an eye out for that. I just posted something. I just finished a project, so you can go on and look at that. It's a lot of, like, unique, like, kind of, like, electronic stuff. I've heard I've heard people say it sounds like this and that. It's pretty experimental. Yeah, it's good.
Probably better than what people find if they creep my my GarageBand mixes that are up on my SoundCloud.
Yeah, I mean, I felt brave to put it out there, so it was nice. Like, it was a big step for me to start using like some more equipment that I wasn't familiar with and whatever. But I think I use it well.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you very much there, Brendon. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up one more time for Mr. Brendon Teegarden.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you.
All right. For those of you that are watching on YouTube and Facebook Live right now, we are about to go offline. If you're here in Colorado Springs, come on down to Jive's Coffee Lounge, 16 Cold Run Court, right next to Bancroft Park in the old Colorado City neighborhood of Colorado Springs, where we will be getting back to our regular open mic and running that until 10 o'clock, or the list is complete, whichever happens first. For those of you in the house, I'm just asking you guys to give me a few minutes while I do my changeover. Now, real quick before we go offline, for those who might be interested in how I do my booking for the stream, maybe you're interested in getting on, first thing I want to let you know is I am booked out into next summer, into summer 2023, to include my soft bookings that aren't solidified yet. I'm booked out into next summer, but what I'm looking for, first of all original material, whether you're doing music, comedy, poetry, all original material. All right, covers are cool for the open mic, not for the live stream. I want the singer-songwriter, I want the poet-writer, I want the creative and the fruit of their labor. That's what I want to share with everybody. So that's first thing, number one right there. And Siri, I am not talking to you, okay? All right, next thing is I like to see at least 4 or 5 performances out of you from the open mic before we will even talk about dates. All right, I typically want to see at least 4 or 5 performances. If there's some reason why you can't do that, talk to me. I may make an exception. Sometimes I will, but those are very few. I want to actually see how you are in the room on stage before I put you on camera. And then from there, all the normal Jives rules are in effect. For those of you who've been with us before, you know, no profanity, keep it clean, you know, and otherwise just engage with people, talk to people, and promote what you're doing. Let people know why it is you're playing certain things, doing certain things. That's what things like this is all about. Give people a chance to get to know the artist and give the artist a chance to reach new members of the crowd, of the audience right there. So just an idea of what we got coming up, folks. The names I'm about to rattle off are going to be a mix of both solid as well as soft bookings, as I like to say. My folks that once we get later into the summer, I'm going to be checking up with them. But just so you guys know what to expect, finishing out 2022 next month, we're going to have hip-hop artist and producer Niqqo da Vet coming in. Nico's been on my stream a couple times already before over the past few years. If you've missed him, please go check out some of his stuff. Check out his YouTube. Check out his Instagram. He's got a bunch of tracks on his Instagram. You're going to love it. And if nothing else, pop in here the last Wednesday in December when we bring you a 40-minute set from Mr. Niqqo da Vet. Then as we move into 2023, folks, we have on January 25th, Shay Dale. February 22nd, Key Mills. March 29th, J.O.S.O. Boogie. April 26th, Escaping Gray. May 31st, KP and Midnight doing a poetry set. June 28th, Dash and Austin. Not Austin Ashmore, my co-host. That's Austin Blankman, guitarist who comes up here every once in a while. They'll be doing a mixed music and poetry set on June 28th. July 26th, we got comedian Glenn Moline. August 31st, Jasper Rose. And then coming into September and October, I'm looking at possibly getting Sarah Van Heck, Jenny Ray, a few other people up here. So if you guys are interested, you can always go to @PoetNorthstar across all social media. Don't DM me on Twitter. I only get on Twitter to talk about my films and talk football stuff. That's it. Otherwise, I don't mess with Twitter anymore. But @PoetNorthstar on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, and Vero. For those who know what Vero is, you can find me, follow me, DM me there. Let me know any questions. You can also email me, poetnorthstar@gmail.com. Or you can check out the Jives Coffee Lounge stuff, Jives Coffee on Facebook, or jives.coffee.lounge on Instagram and TikTok. Yes, TikTok, because Dord likes to take my little video clips I record during open mic and post them up on TikTok. He does some great effects on them. It's absolutely fantastic. But if you DM in there, they'll get me the message, and we'll get you the answer to the question as soon as possible. In the meantime, for those of you watching online, thank you very much for joining us. I hope you guys join us again next month when we bring in Niqqo da Vet, and then in January when we bring in Shay Dale. Everybody here in the house, stick around. Just give me a minute. We're going to get back to open mic. Thank you.